Good morning, my name is Margaret Welch. I am the proud principal of Betsy B. Winslow School here in New Bedford, and I'm happy to share that today was a celebration here of International Walk to School Day.
My name is Kim Ferreira and I am the Director of Massive Motion New Bedford. Today we celebrated a district-wide celebration for all the work that New Bedford has been doing to help to increase opportunities for physical activity as part of the Safe Routes to School. Over the past year we've made tremendous progress in this area, including a district-wide distribution of transportation surveys. So we were able to gather information about how kids are getting to school and where they're coming. So we've been able to sit down with schools to determine how we could put together some activities, things like walking school buses, to get kids more active on their way to school and after school. This information has been really helpful for the district, and because of this we've already implemented 2 walking school buses and are in the process of working with 4 other schools to get this started. We've also installed over 170 bike racks thanks to the Department of Public Infrastructure and through grant opportunities through SERPED. So now all of our elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools have bike racks so that children can not only bike to school, but schools are also equipped with bike locks so that these bikes can also be stored safely. We have also implemented this year a 2nd grade pedestrian training curriculum so that in physical activity classes children will start to learn about pedestrian safety, and we can get into the details from representatives here from Mass Safe Routes to School can talk about those in a few minutes. So first, this is, want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Lila, Gillespie. I'm the nurse at Winslow School, and I've been doing this walk actually before I came to Winslow with the other schools, and it's been, for me, it's been a wonderful experience getting the kids organized and having fun walking. And in the past I've done walking clubs. We had this year, actually in the beginning of this month, we did a walking school bus, a one-time walking school bus, and we encouraged all the families to get together. We advertised it at an open house, we sent flyers home, and we had a walk to school from the hospital, which is several blocks, about half a mile. And we picked up kids along the way, and it was really a lot of fun. What I like to do today was we walked all around the school. We collected everyone in the school because there are some kids who come on the school bus and they can't walk with us, meeting us down the way, on the way to school. So this way everyone has a chance to walk, and it's a nice social time as well. It's really quite a lot of fun. So it was a good celebration today.
So I know we were just talking about some of the other things that you guys have been doing in terms of wellness and health, and you mentioned your Wellness
Wednesdays, yeah. Every Wednesday I try to do a little blurb, not more than about a minute because we don't want to take too much time, but I try to cover all the bases. We try to talk about getting enough sleep, getting enough exercise, nutrition, and having a limited screen time. So those are our areas that I try to talk about, as well as talking about different health issues that come up, like if there's a lot of colds going around, or hygiene. Hygiene's a big one, but exercise, and I was really talking about how much exercise is important, so that kids can they feel happier, and they also can function better. They can their grades can actually go up. They can concentrate better. So that's what I keep pumping into them, which is wonderful. And then we were talking about Mrs. Welch told me about a school in Scotland, and you want to talk about that?
Sure. So I had been looking at the BBC website online, and they featured a school in Scotland where they had started a curriculum where the children walked a mile a day, and the teachers could choose when they should do that. When they felt the children were flagging, they would get up and go out and walk for a mile. And bear in mind, this is in a school system where students have a lot more physical education time than our children do. And that's one big concern of mine as a new principal to the area, is the lack of physical education lessons our students have. And I know Dr. Durkin and Jason DeFalco are working very hard to improve that situation, and hopefully eventually our students will have at least one physical education lesson a week. But the school in Scotland had found that not only were the children healthier and there was a decrease in fighting and aggression at school, and there was also an increase in their academic scores. And the data is so strong that that program is now being duplicated in other areas in other countries of the United Kingdom. So it's something that I shared with Nurse Lila, and we were talking about ways that we could maybe implement that in a modified form here, because obviously we don't want to take time from learning, but I do think that an increase in some physical activity would enhance our program rather than take from it.
Well, it was great though to see as we were walking up, all the kids before the bell even rang were all playing outside.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
they have some opportunities to get out their energy before school starts?
They do. A lot of our students arrive. We have supervision. I have 5 people supervising outside from 8 o'clock every morning. So the students have an opportunity to be outside for 15 minutes before they have to be ready to come into school. So that's a great privilege that we have here at Betsy B. Winslow. My last school, we didn't have a playground. We didn't have any areas outside the school. So I feel very fortunate to be in a school that has this kind of space. And of course we have the fabulous playground that our PTO raised money for and continue to service and make sure that that's safe. It's a beautiful facility. So they have that opportunity. Our physical education teacher, Jason Bennett, works very hard with his limited time to work with them, and they have physical education outside unless the temperature is lower than 40 degrees. And then we come inside and they use our beautiful 100-year-old auditorium.
Well, it was a beautiful day today.
It was.
And, many people may not know, but we've been doing these walks since 2010. And we'd like to thank Mayor Mitchell for his continuous support to attend these events. Enthusiastically today, he had the great opportunity to walk to school with his daughter who was on her bike. So, we thank Mayor Mitchell and the Mayor's office for their continued support. We're fortunate also to have technical assistance from the Massachusetts Safe Routes to Schools program, and our representative is Erin Reed, who comes down from Boston. We joke because over this past year she's been doing so much work here. She should have had a second home here. But Erin, do you want to speak a little bit about Safe Routes to School overall, and how New Bedford is a rock star? And
yeah. So Safe Routes is a federal program that's administered by Mass DOT. So I'm Melissa Callison from Mass DOT this morning, who also grew up from Boston. We couldn't carpool different parts of the city, but New Bedford's one of 180 communities that we work with, and one of 700 schools. And it's one of my favorite communities to work in because there's been so much growth in promoting safe walking and biking. I know the school district just got crossing guards back this year, which has been, a lot of parents have loved to hear that crossing guards have made their way back to New Bedford. So we've done a lot of work this summer. I should have had an apartment in New Bedford this summer because we work with so many schools in creating safer routes and preferred routes for kids to walk, whether it's on a walking school bus or just the Lincoln School. They have 800 kids. It's not possible to try to figure out a walking school bus that'll work for 800 kids. So putting together some preferred routes, because 35% of their students are already walking to school. So the national average is 13% of kids that walk or bike to school. In New Bedford, the numbers are higher. So it was one of the reasons why we chose New Bedford for the pedestrian safety curriculum. It's actually a pilot that we're doing this year. New Bedford, Springfield, and Greenfield are the only 3 communities that we're rolling out pedestrian safety into physical activity, into physical education. And Tom Sharkey was on board from the beginning. It was, we want to build a comprehensive K through 12 PE curriculum, this is great. The next step is trying to figure out, can we get bike safety? You know, maybe in the middle school curriculum, we're going to look at some bikes that the police department have been holding later on today to see what can we fix up, what can we get into the hands of middle schoolers so they can learn, you know, safe biking. So they get to the bike racks, you know, in one piece with their helmet on and they lock it up and they're ready to start their day. So it's just a joy to work with New Bedford, and you guys are a rock star in my mind.
Well, we really appreciate all the work that you've done, and you know, I don't want to forget without saying Stephanie Roosh, who's a part of the Mass Emotion team, who has been on the ground working with all the schools, especially in recent months while I've been on maternity leave. So Stephanie's been just working endlessly on all of these efforts, and please stay tuned for May, because that will be our next big flagship event for the Massachusetts Walk and Bike to School Day.
Mark! Anna! Ooh! Hey! Forgot your lunch. Hey!
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent, because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you.